What's up everyone, it's United Weather here with another weather forecast video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming weather pattern that's going to bring some very hot air to the southwestern part of the country, as well as some severe weather, and maybe even a little taste of fall for areas in the northeast. As always, if you guys do enjoy these forecast videos, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps get these forecasts out to more people and motivates you to make more videos for you guys. So with that being said, let's get into it. So going ahead really quickly and taking a look at the current radar, according to the NAM, as you can see, relatively quiet across the eastern half of the country. We do have some areas of showers here in the northeast. We also have some areas of thunderstorms down here in the southeast. The northeast is expected to get another round of severe weather today. Expect these showers to move east, maybe form a little line of thunderstorms. Nothing too crazy, definitely not comparable to yesterday where you guys got a foot of rain in some spots. Definitely some catastrophic flooding in areas like Connecticut and Long Island yesterday. You might get a little more rain today. Again, not going to be as bad as it was yesterday, but it might add an extra inch or two to those totals on top of whatever you got yesterday. So definitely keep that in mind if you're in the northeast and one of the areas that was flooded yesterday. Other than that, relatively quiet. We can move ahead here throughout the day. You can see the line progress east, maybe some thunderstorms down here as well in North Carolina, Virginia, maybe even South Carolina as you move on throughout the day. But nothing too crazy, definitely not comparable to yesterday. The biggest threat with these is going to be straight line winds. As this cold front moves to the east, and we get some really cool air moving behind it, which we'll take a look at in a second. Now zooming out here on the GFS model and taking a look at the temperature anomaly, this is what it's going to be looking like today. We have this cool air building up here in southeastern Canada, and that is going to continue to crash to the south. To basically this entire area is going to be very below average for the next few days. Meanwhile, in the southwestern United States, you guys are going to be getting a heat dome build over you for the next week, and that's not really going to move. So if you're in the southwestern United States, expect very hot temperatures for the next week or so. If you're in the northeast, maybe even anywhere in this area I circled again, for the next week, maybe even 5 days, you guys can expect a little hint of fall with temperatures 5 to 10 degrees below average. And if we move ahead here, you can see that cold air crash to the south. You can see those kind of purple colors, even some pink colors popping up there. That is 10 degrees below average. And if we continue to skip ahead, it continues to just sit over the northeast, sit over areas like Ohio, Kentucky, all the way down even into Florida. And it just does not move until eventually, this is August 24th, eventually gets out of the way. And you can see this hot air here in the southwestern United States hasn't really moved. Again, it's not going to be that extreme, but it's definitely going to be above average temperatures, so no relief in the southwestern United States, at least for the next week. Now, in terms of actual temperatures here, this is the temperatures on Wednesday according to the GFS model. As you can see down here in Texas, we have mid 100s, might even get up to 110 in some spots in Texas on Wednesday. Meanwhile, up here in the northern half of the country, we have 60s, 50s, low 70s, so very below normal temperatures for Wednesday. And that is going to continue over the next few days, probably into the weekends for this area here in the northern United States. Now going ahead and looking at the precipitation on the GFS model here, you can see we have this low pressure up here. This is going to be bringing some severe weather to the northern plains, multiple rounds of it actually over the next week, and that starts today in areas like Montana. You guys can see we have some heavy rain here developing. I believe they are in a slight risk today, and that's going to continue to kind of sit over that area and move to the east over the next few days. This is August 22nd. You can see we still have some severe weather up here, and this trough or this low pressure eventually moves off to the east, and we get another one develop and come in here, and you can see this is August 26th. Looks like to be a pretty widespread event here. Wouldn't be surprised to see an enhanced risk somewhere in this area on August 26th. I know it is pretty far out, still a week away. That's definitely what it is looking like right now on the models. So obviously still too far out to pinpoint anything down, but definitely going to be a pretty active severe weather day for the northern plains sometime this weekend, even going into early next week. Now in terms of the tropics here, you can see we still do have Ernesto off the east coast here, still causing some swells, rough surf, especially in the northeast today. And that is going to continue to move off to the east, probably hitting Atlantic Canada, giving them some gusty winds and strong rain. Not going to be too bad though. But as we move ahead here, you can see nothing really develops in the Atlantic Ocean. The next week or so is looking really quiet in terms of the tropics. However, August 26th, around that time period, You can see these waves start to move off Africa here, and the dry air that has been plaguing the Atlantic and going to continue to plague the Atlantic over this next week is finally going to be dissipating, and you can see these waves continue to move to the west and eventually develop. Some waves here, coming pretty close to the United States. This is still 360 hours out, but this should just give you guys a general idea. This next week, probably going to be dead quiet. However, as you get into the last week of August, that's when the tropics should start ramping up again. That is the peak of hurricane season, and that is when these waves should start heading to the west and eventually towards the United States again as you get into the first week of September. So if you guys are in a very hurricane prone areas like Florida, the southeast coast, anywhere in the Gulf of Mexico, this week is going to be pretty quiet for you. However, as you get into the last week of August, first week of September, things are going to start ramping up again, so you definitely want to keep an eye on the tropics if you are in a hurricane prone area. Now, with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it for today's video. There is not a lot to talk about in the close range. That is why it's a little bit of a shorter video. I don't want to go too in depth into things in the long range forecast because obviously there's still a lot of time for it to change, and I could get a lot of things wrong with that. So a little bit of a shorter video today, and I do apologize for that. But I will be back whenever there is a short range threat to give you guys an update on that. So with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. As always, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe and peace out.